A Daleville mom is facing felony charges after her 2-year-old was found dead in a hot car. Tonight on NewsLink Indiana, we have the latest from her first hearing in court earlier today.
Plus, Kavanaugh responds after a second woman comes forward with sexual misconduct accusations, while the Supreme Court nominee says he's not backing down.
A mild fall night here in East Central Indiana, but there's rain on the way. I'll break it down in just a few minutes.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brenton Roy.
And I'm Brittany Erman. Thanks for joining us. Well, our top story tonight, there is a heightened risk for severe weather to move its way into East Central Indiana over the next 24 hours.
NewsLink Indiana Chief Weather Forecaster Joe Struess has the details on the potential for that severe weather. Joe?
Good evening, guys. We do have the potential for severe weather across the state tomorrow. We saw rain across the area today. That is moving off to the north and west. We will see more rain tomorrow in kind of a stronger form, likely. The system we're watching is moving through the northern Great Plains tonight. Right now, just producing some showers in central and southern Minnesota, but that will progress down to the Midwest, to the south and east as we head through the overnight hours tonight and interact with an unstable air mass we'll have in place. We could see some strong thunderstorms here tomorrow. Due to that risk, the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has issued a slight risk for the area. The entire state is under the slight risk. We are expecting anything from strong storms that could produce damaging winds, maybe the potential for some tornadoes. I think that tornado threat would be mainly isolated. We could also see some small hail. We'll break down that severe weather risk coming up in just a few minutes.
And we'll make sure to keep following that. Thanks, Joe. Well, a Daleville mom is in jail facing felony neglect charges and obstruction of justice. 28-year-old Brittany Wybrink had her first hearing today. Charges come after her 2-year-old child was found dead inside of a hot car earlier this month. Investigators found several empty bottles of alcohol in her home, and witnesses reported her being drunk. She is currently held on a $55,000 bond. Wybrink is scheduled for a pretrial conference on December 12th. She will face trial on January 14th.
Delaware County serves their veterans each year in a Veterans Stand Down event at the fairgrounds.
NewsLink Indiana's Camille Breck shows us the big change this year, getting veterans what they need.
Sometimes you need a haircut.
I needed a haircut real good. I needed it bad, actually.
Or a free meal. Thank you. Or clothes.
The yell that one. Thank you.
These are all things veterans can get at the Veterans Stand Down event, which has been going on for 11 years. This year, Nathan Jones, the Veterans Affairs Officer for Delaware County, took a different approach.
But the idea this year is not necessarily handouts, hand-ups. So we're going to give you some things, but we also want you to meet with anybody who can help in any way. We want them to help.
Some vets, like William Smith, have been taking advantage of this event for years.
I enjoy coming to the stand downs. I've been to everyone. Ever since I've known about them, I've been coming to them.
Some of the volunteers also come back every year. One of those is Norma Lasky, who has a personal connection with vets.
I had 2 brothers who served in World War II. I also have a nephew who served in Iraq. We do have some family issues that make us even more sympathetic to the cause.
Jones, a veteran himself, said he wants to continue to serve the veterans in his community.
Our goal is to work ourselves out of business. That'll probably never happen, but the more veterans we get hand-ups rather than handouts, they're doing something to help promote a better living for themselves. Oh, I mean, it's an honor. It's a privilege, too.
In Muncie, Camille Breck, NewsLink, Indiana.
Over 100 veterans were served at Friday's event.
A Ball State alum and former chairman and CEO of UPS returned to campus Friday to have a center dedicated in his honor. The Kent C. Oz Nelson Logistics and Supply Chain Management Center for Excellence has a 100% job placement rate. The center has been at Ball State for 5 years but was just named Friday. It features the new Allegiant Logistics Lab, which has 36 student workstations and 24-hour access to software. Nelson shared his hopes for the center going forward.
The center has an obligation to teach things that are needed so that when kids learn this and gather this information, they can do something with it in form of seeking employment, getting jobs, starting out on a career, with a leg up on a lot of other people who don't know that, don't have that information, and because we want Ball State graduates to be winners.
The center is located in Whittinger Building Room 216.
And more on the local front. Tomorrow night, the Muncie community will get a chance to learn something new about the history of Muncie.
NewsLink Indiana's Jerry Masukovich tells us how a local arts center and Ball State are teaming up to educate the community.
Cornerstone Center of the Arts attempts to engage the Muncie community by providing a wide variety of educational programs. On Tuesday, the Arts Center will be hosting the Forgotten Places and Faces of Muncie. This event will be free to the public and feature a collection of maps, historic photographs, newspaper articles, and diary entries related to the history and culture of Muncie. The Arts Center's Jesse Fisher talks about the opportunity to collaborate with the Ball State University GIS Research Lab.
So we have this great relationship with the Ball State University's GIS Research Lab and Melissa Gentry, who is our presenter for these workshops. So she puts together these amazing maps that kind of showcase different niche history pieces. So this one in particular is about Muncie.
While Jesse and the rest of the Arts Center staff are preparing their building for the upcoming event, Ball State's Melissa Gentry has been working on the presentation that will be shown to attendees.
We're actually working with the Cornerstone Center and Minnetrista and the Delaware County Historical Society. For the next 2 years, we're going to be focusing on women that lived in Muncie, just to commemorate the anniversary of women getting the right to vote in 1920. So for the next 2 years, we're going to have different programs and presentations. So this is just one of the first ones where most of the people that we're going to talk about on Tuesday are going to be women.
For a unique look into the history of Muncie, be sure to visit the Cornerstone Center of the Arts Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. In Muncie, Jeremy Masukovich, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information about this event, you can check us out on the full story at ballstatedaily.com.
A Purdue University student is dead after falling from a 10th floor balcony at an apartment near campus. Investigators say the 19-year-old woman was found around 2 o'clock Saturday morning. 3 other people were in the apartment at the time of the incident. Investigators ruled her death as a suicide. The woman's name has not yet been released.
A Northwestern Indiana bus driver is out of a job tonight after teaching students how to drive her bus. Take a look at this. The cell phone video on your screen shows 27-year-old Joandra McGatty allowing 3 students to take turns behind the wheel in Porter County. Police say the students were 11, 13, and 17 years old. Other students were also on the bus at the time. The driver was arrested and charged with felony neglect.
Indiana Railroad Safety Week starts today. Governor Eric Holcomb announced Indiana Safety Week in conjunction with the U.S. and Canada Rail Safety Week. Indiana Operation Lifesaver is a nonprofit organization that will have several campaigns with numerous law enforcement agencies around the state. The Hoosier State was ranked 6th nationally for railroad crossing collisions in 2017. There were 101 collisions, 47 people were injured, and 12 were killed as a result of the accidents. A disgraced American icon was in court today. We'll tell you the potential charges he's facing coming up.
Plus, we have the latest on an active day in the nation's capital. These stories right after the break.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone? No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. The White House still supports Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh despite a second accusation of inappropriate sexual behavior. The allegation claims he exposed himself to Deborah Ramirez at a Yale college party in the 80s. Kavanaugh and the alleged witnesses are denying the claims. Testimonies from Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford, the first woman who accused him of sexual assault, are still set for Thursday. The committee will also be looking into his new allegation. Kavanaugh spoke publicly today about the allegations.
I'm not going to let false accusations drive us out of this process, and we're looking for a fair process where I can be heard and defend my integrity, my lifelong record of promoting dignity and equality for women, starting with the women who knew me when I was 14 years old. I'm not going anywhere.
Democrats are demanding an immediate postponement of the confirmation proceedings and renewing their call for an FBI investigation.
And more news from Washington as Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein is meeting with President Trump on Thursday with his job now in question. The meeting comes after a report surfaced saying Rosenstein had discussed recording the president and using the Constitution to get him out of office. Rosenstein met with the president's chief of staff at the White House this morning, and several lawmakers are expressing concern over the possibility of Trump firing Rosenstein. Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff says the potential removal of Rosenstein would be another controversial move.
If the president fires Rod Rosenstein, it is Exhibit B in the obstruction of justice case against him, Exhibit A being the firing of James Comey. He would have fired the FBI director in charge of the investigation. He would have fired the Attorney General representative in charge of the investigation.
And Rosenstein has since denied today's reports, including those saying he plans to resign from his position.
Bill Cosby is facing his sentencing today after accusations of drugging and sexually assaulting women. His punishment could be anywhere from probation to 30 years in prison. Cosby was already found guilty on 3 accounts of aggravated indecent assault this spring. He also previously settled a civil case with Andrea Constand, his first accuser, back in 2005. Criminal charges regarding that case were not filed until 2017. Since Constand's testimony, dozens of women have come forward. Cosby has denied the accusations. So I hear we have some severe weather coming up. Joe, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we have a slight risk for severe thunderstorms tomorrow. I will track it down hour by hour coming up after the break.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. So guys, we're finally starting to see those fall temperatures, but I have to say, I don't know if I like it.
I know, it just seems like we had our last day of summer and then we were right into fall weather. Some people are liking it, but some people aren't really liking the rainy weather. Joe, what can we expect coming up?
I think a lot of us like the rainy weather and the cooler temperatures, but this morning might have been a little too much. You definitely needed that umbrella as you headed out the door this morning. You'll still need it if you're heading out the door tonight. Current radar shows that we still do have some showers pushing through the eastern portion of the state. That's not really what the big story is. Up to the northwest looks to be a little more serious in terms of our future weather here. It's this line of showers ahead of a cold front which will progress down towards the southeast overnight that will bring the potential for severe weather to our region tomorrow. More on that in just a few minutes. A mild night across the state, 70 degrees in Indy, 69 in Kokomo, 70 as well in Lafayette. Here in Muncie, we're at 71 degrees, mostly cloudy skies out there. So really not a bad night. You probably will only need a light jacket if you're heading out, but I do think we'll see the chance for some showers during the overnight hours. Want to point out though, the dew points have surged as much as almost 20 degrees higher from yesterday. The dew point is the representation of how much moisture is in the air. When we see this much of a surge in the dew points in such a short period, it's representative that we've had a lot of moisture come into the region. That will be part of the fuel for thunderstorms tomorrow. Tonight, we drop down to 65 degrees. Again, showers are likely. We're only dropping into the mid-60s due to winds from the south, which will keep temperatures fairly warm. That sets the stage, combined with the moisture, for severe thunderstorms on Tuesday. Slight risk out for severe weather across the entire state of Indiana. That is a 2 out of 5 risk on the Storm Prediction Center scale. What that means is we can expect an isolated tornado or two, possibly some damaging winds, and there's also a low-lying hail threat as well as the potential for some heavy rainfall. But I really think the greatest chance tomorrow will be seeing some damaging winds. So let's break down it all for you here on Precision Cast. Here we are, 3 a.m. tonight. You can see some showers starting to build in to the southwest. Early tomorrow morning, you're going to want the umbrella as you head out the door for your early classes, as we'll likely see downpours around early in the day. We are very confident that we will see the chances for rain into the early part of the day tomorrow. Things begin to become a little more uncertain, though, as we head towards lunchtime tomorrow, as we will have a lot of cloud cover in place across the state. If we are in a situation where we see a lot of cloud cover tomorrow, the potential for severe weather does drop a bit. But if we're able to get some clearing in the afternoon, we'll likely see showers and storms begin to pop during the afternoon and evening hours, some of which could be severe. We could see damaging winds as low as a isolated tornado or two through the overnight hours into even later tomorrow night. I don't think the threat for severe weather diminishes until we get to the very early hours on Wednesday as the cold front finally passes about 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and then that will move out of the area as we head into the day on Wednesday. So tomorrow we move up to 76 degrees. Again, thunderstorms around, some of those could be strong. Now, if we see some clearing tomorrow, more clearing than maybe we're anticipating, it's not out of the question. We could see even warmer temperatures, and that would allow for even stronger storms to occur. So we're going to have to really stay abreast to changing weather conditions tomorrow. Keep it tuned here to NewsLink and to our Twitter as we head through the day tomorrow in the event that any storms do go severe. The rest of the 7-day doesn't look bad, though. Some rain around early in the day on Wednesday, 65 degrees, 68 degrees for Thursday. The weekend, that's what we've been looking for. Low 70s both days. Maybe some clouds around, but I think we stay dry for the rest of the 7-day forecast. So we just need to get through tomorrow. Again, a lot of uncertainties we head into tomorrow afternoon, guys, but I think we definitely want to be prepared for the potential for some severe weather.
Definitely some flannel weather coming up.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe some windbreakers, you know?
Sounds good. All right, and what can we expect in sports? Some fall weather.
For sure. Tonight we will take a look at how both the Ball State football and field hockey teams did this week, and it's all coming up after the break.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero. After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Rachel Berry with sports. Ball State football suffered a tough loss on Saturday to Western Kentucky to drop them to 1-3 on the year. The Cardinals' 404 yards of total offense was not able to stay ahead of a fourth quarter comeback from the Hilltoppers. NewsLink Indiana, Ben Shuren has more.
Ball State football wrapped up their non-conference schedule on Saturday, falling to Western Kentucky 28-20. Both teams' stats are nearly identical, with both the Cardinals and Hilltoppers totaling over 400 yards in offense. In the end, it was Western Kentucky outscoring Ball State 14-7 in the fourth quarter that made the difference. Cardinals head coach Mike New can't help but be disappointed in letting a pivotal win slip away.
Simply too many things that we left on the field that we need to clean up. We talked about making sure that each guy took ownership and dominating his performance, meaning dominating his whatever his job is. Make sure you do it to the best of your ability. And we left some plays on the field.
One thing that Ball State needs to clean up is their penalties. The Cardinals committed 10 penalties for 120 yards, including 4 in the fourth quarter.
When you're facing long yardage situation, it's tough. There's not very many plays on your sheet other than saying, man, we just got to get the ball in his hands, or if you throw it down the field, one time it was long yardage. We got a pass interference on that Justin drew there. So those are tough. Those are tough situations to be in because, dialing up a pass play and thinking, man, I'm going to get 15, 18, 19 yards, whatever it is. Those are tough.
Ball State will look to avenge their loss this Saturday as they host Kent State in their MAC opener. In Muncie, I'm Ben Shuren, NewsLink Indiana.
Kickoff for Ball State and Kent State is at 3 o'clock with the game being televised on ESPN+. And today, the Ball State field hockey team looked to end a 7-game losing streak against the University of California, Davis. The field hockey team hadn't won a game in almost 11 months and looked to take advantage of a UC Davis team that was playing its third game in 4 days. Redshirt sophomore Sierra Jefferson got the Cardinals started off early with a goal 12 seconds in. Then Michelle Shampton put the Cardinals up 2-0 in the 21st minute and gave the Cardinals hope. It was a back-and-forth affair to the end of the game that forced the teams into overtime. UC Davis's Elaine Vandenbosch earned a hat trick with the game-winning goal as the Cardinals fell to 0-8. Ball State will have some time to regroup before heading to North Carolina this weekend to take on Appalachian State and the University of North Carolina. The Cardinals have had a couple hard losses this week, but I know each team is looking for a win this upcoming week.
Yeah, definitely more losses than wins. We hope we can flip that really quick.
Oh, yeah. We got to improve that record.
Yes. Right. So hopefully we got some positive things coming soon. Thank you so much. All right, well, coming up, Kim and Kanye's daughter, Northwest, has her first debut in a fashion show.
And a popular Netflix show returns for season 2. It's all next in Trending.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Sophia Lackey. So Sophia, what do you have to tell us?
Starting at only age 5, Northwest makes her first runway debut. The show was the LOL Surprise Fashion Show in Palisades Park, California. The company makes dolls that come inside a layered package so the customer does not know what the doll looks like until the package is completely opened. North was dressed as the doll Thrilla. Her mom, Kim Kardashian, attended the runway show to support her daughter and said that North was completely obsessed with the dolls. For all you Netflix original fans, Season 2 of Atypical was released earlier this month. The show follows a teenager named Sam who is on the autism spectrum, as well as his family. Sam is looking for his first girlfriend, and this search causes life changes for both Sam and his family. In Season 2, Sam starts school without his older sister and begins to look at options for college. Changes continue to occur within his family as they deal with their parents' separation. Sources say Season 3 is expected to be released next summer.
So we have to rewind back to Kim K's daughter,
Yes.
the age of 5.
5, her first show.
Wow, I think we all want to be a Kardashian. I mean,
It would be nice.
Start them young, right?
Exactly. And then this new show coming up, like I was just talking about, I need new shows to watch. I mean, fall, that cozy weather, you know, is coming up. It's going to be, so you need to bundle up and watch this show. So, I mean, are you looking forward to it too?
Yes, I am. I have actually not seen Season 1 yet, but I've heard it's all the craze on Netflix. So.
I've been looking for recommendations, so I'll definitely have to check that one out.
And is this a drama?
It is actually a comedy, but it has a little bit of drama in it. But I think it's supposed to be a comedy.
Okay, so a little laughs with a side of tears. I think we can all be okay with that. Well, thank you so much for those updates, and let's take one last look at weather.
Okay, we have an active situation tomorrow across the state. A slight risk for severe weather in place from the Storm Prediction Center. I don't think everyone sees severe weather tomorrow, but those of you that do, it could be rather nasty, damaging winds possible. Could even see the isolated tornado or two, especially north of the I-70 corridor at this point. Now, after we get past tomorrow, the rest of the 7-day doesn't look too bad. Much cooler Wednesday and Thursday, maybe some rain around early on the day on Wednesday. But look at Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Temperatures around the 70-degree mark. Plenty of sunshine for Friday. I think we'll see some clouds around over the weekend, but I'm not expecting anything in terms of precipitation all the way into the start of next week, and then it almost looks like temperatures kick up as we head into the extended outlook. So I just want people to stay careful tomorrow, but then once we get past Tuesday, I think we can start to enjoy the weather a little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely I'm gonna have to go ahead and pick out my sweatshirt I'm gonna wear to class tomorrow. It's definitely gonna be a chilly one.
Well, you're gonna want the umbrella tomorrow, and possibly even the raincoat. And keep your phone around. make sure to follow us on Twitter at NLI Weather.
All right, sounds
thank
good.
you.
Thank
That's
you.
all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.